Welcome to our regularly scheduled commission meeting, July 12, 2023. The time is now 7:04. Madam Clerk, roll call.
Commissioner Bass. Here. Vice Mayor Irvin.
Here.
Commissioner Kelly.
Present.
Mayor Taylor.
Here. Dr. Bass, can you lead us in our invocation on tonight?
Our Father who art in heaven, holy is your name. Father God, we thank you for the opportunity, Father God, to be servants, oh God. Lord God, not just servants, God, but servants of the Most High God. We thank you, oh God, for allowing us, oh God, to be the mouthpiece, God. We thank you, Lord God, for allowing us to serve our community. Father God, we pray that we serve our community with dignity and integrity, Father God, that you would get the glory. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. I pledge of allegiance.
Pledge
allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I do see that we have a special presentation presented by Commissioner Bass for the City of Opa-locka's 2023 Gospel in the Park participants. Commissioner Bass, you have the floor. Come on down.
Good evening, everyone. We, the mayor and commission of the great city of Opa-locka, along with all of our department heads, employees, and the residents of Opa-locka, would like to say thank you for those who came out to celebrate with us as a gospel in the park as a part of our city's birthday. I don't know if everyone is here who came and participated. We had songs, dance, and some of everything else, and it was truly awesome. Again, we just want to say thank you. So I'm going to ask our Mayor, our Vice Mayor, Commissioner Kelly to help me to present to all of those beautiful people who came out to support our city. The first one is our Seniors on the Move. Seniors on the Move. They had us going to church. It was awesome. Seniors on the Move. Come on down. Let me give this one to Commissioner Kelly, his babies.
Civic appreciation, the mayor and commission of Opa-locka award certificate to Seniors on the Move Ensemble. Y'all know that name, you're gonna hear it in the future. Presented this 12th day of July by Dr. Bass and signed by our mayor as well. Congratulations, Seniors on the Move.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
And they're under the direction of Ms. Darton.
Yes, Miss Didi. Thank you, Miss Didi. And we have Mysterio Pastor Pinellas. Yes, thank you, Pastor Pinellas. And they all read the same, so we're not gonna read all of them, but they all basically says the same thing. Thank you. Where's Mrs. Pinellas? Okay. You go on this side. And we have several more. They're late or they're not coming. I don't know. But we'll call their names. Pastor Craig Larkins, we thank you. Levi Knowles, Divine Purpose, we thank you. Dr. Glinton Samuels, we thank you. Dr. Delpha Samuels, we thank you. And last but certainly not least, Pastor Noel Williams. We say thank you, thank you, thank you.
So again, like Commissioner Bass said, we thank all the participants that came out and supported, even the residents that came out to support gospel in the park. And Commissioner Bass said it was the first, but it will not be the last.
Definitely
So
not.
those of you that were not able to experience it, we hope that you're able to do it in the future. As we go into the approval, of our consent agenda, do we have any pulls, deferrals, or deletion on our consent agenda?
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to pull number 2 of the consent.
Okay. Any other pulls, deferrals, or deletion on the consent agenda? All right. Vice Mayor and then Commissioner
Well,
Kelly.
Kelly can go first. He'll probably
Okay.
pull mine like Bass did.
Commissioner Kelly,
I want to pull number, number 1.
okay. All right, so I have resolution 1 and 2 of the consent agenda. All right, Madam Clerk. Can I get a motion to approve consent agenda? Move it. Moved by Commissioner Kelly,
Oh, sorry, second.
second by Vice Mayor. Madam Clerk, roll call.
Vice Mayor Irvin,
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly,
Yes.
Commissioner Bass.
Yes.
Mayor Taylor.
Yes.
Motion passes 4-0.
All righty, can I get approval of tonight's agenda?
Move it.
Moved by Commissioner Bass,
Second.
second by Commissioner Kelly. Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Kelly,
Yes.
Commissioner Bass.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Irvin.
Yes.
Mayor Taylor.
Yes.
Motion passes 4-0.
All right, can I get approval of the commission meeting minutes, June 14th, 2023?
Move it.
Move-
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Kelly, second by Vice Mayor. Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Bass.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Irvin.
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly.
Yes.
Mayor Taylor.
Yes.
Motion passes 4-0.
Okay, and I don't see any presentations. All right, we're getting ready to go into our citizens forum where our residents can express their concerns. Madam Clerk, can you please read for the record the rules for our citizens forum?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good evening. City of Opa-locka Commission meetings are held in person at the Opa-locka Municipal Complex, City Commission Chambers, 780 Fisherman Street, 3rd floor, Opa-locka, Florida. Members of the public wishing to address the commission may do so in person or virtually. Those persons wishing to participate virtually should register prior to the scheduled meeting time on the city's website at www.opalockafl.gov. When speaking before the commission, please make sure to give your full name and address for the record. There is a 3-minute time limit for public comments. Please adhere to the decorum policy, which is part of the commission meeting agenda. City Commission meetings are aired through live stream at www.youtube.com/user/City of Opa-locka. And at this time, I do not have any virtual public comment.
Okay, before we open it up for the people in the audience, we want to acknowledge Pastor Glinton Samuels. He was the MC for our Gospel in the Park, and Commissioner Bass had a yeah, thank you. For you and your congregation that helped out at that, and we want to present it to you now, and then we'll. A certificate of appreciation from the Mayor and Commission of the City of Opa-locka, appreciating you for a job well done at our Gospel in the Park. Thank you, Dr. Samuel.
Thank you.
Okay, citizens forum is open. Citizens forum is now open.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Sheila Pruitt, 2350 Northwest 141 Street. I have a couple of concerns. About a couple of months ago, I went and joined some of our commissioners to clean up the Ingram Park area. You know, we spreaded mulch and whatnot, and we repainted the goals, the basketball goals, and some of the entrances and everything like that. But my thing is, I don't have a problem doing that. Whatever, I'm needed, I will be there. But I'm not gonna go out, get up early in the morning and go out in the hot sun. And I'll later find out that it's not being kept up by our city workers. If we can go out there and do what we need to do as citizens of Opa-locka, then the upkeep should be met. That's not hard to do. And also too, I have a problem with around the canal banks. Now, I just witnessed the Miami-Dade workers. They came out with the canals. They cleaned it out much as they could because it was a hot mess. Literally a hot mess. But I do not see our city workers on a daily going and picking up the trash around the bank. Just get out and with the trash bag with your little stick thing and pick the trash up. I've been asking the same thing for months. Now I see them riding around, because they blow at me. But take more pride in your city where you live. If you all expect the citizens, the residents to do their jobs, you do yours. That's not hard. If not, then we need to hire some more people who need to work and do the job that is required. And I don't think I'm not asking much. I don't have anything against anybody. And I'm not trying to throw anyone under the bus, but it's just a reality. And I even asked my neighbors who were constantly sitting at their front door watching everything. I said, well, maybe something I missed. No, they haven't seen it either. I just want to make sure before I come up here. But we need to take more pride in the city. And one more thing, I went to the Meet Me Monday meeting. And a longtime business owner, they've been there for years because, I have utilized them, a tile shop. These people want to do business in our city. Let them. Don't put them on hold, for permits and stuff, and you're not giving them the answer in a timely manner. They need to eat also. They're trying to bring revenue into this business. Shani, could you come up here, please? Because I'm not done yet. Give me your name and your address.
My name is Chantrell Dean. My address is 2350 Northwest 141 Street, Opa-locka, Florida. And
And you're giving your 3 minutes to.
I give my minutes to Sheila Pruitt.
It's my daughter. Thank you. Okay. All right. I forgot where, but again, with our business owners, stop giving them such a hard time, because we need much revenue and much growth in this city as possible. Because I'm tired of asking for certain things to be done, and the answer I'm given is we don't have any money. I'm sick and tired of we don't have any money, especially when I'm paying my taxes on time every year. Where is it going? So we need to do our due diligence and do what we need to do and do right by the people that are trying to bring business into the city of Opa-locka. And that's not nothing hard. I mean, just get on the ball and do what we need to do. And one more thing before I sit down. Downtown Opa-locka, I've looked at some plans and it's beautiful. What happened? I mean, it seemed like we start something and we drop the ball. Let's get that back started so that people can come in and enjoy this great city. Let's make it great again. But let's get started and do what we need to do and stop wasting time on other foolishness. And that's when you ride into City of Opa-locka, you know you're in City of Opa-locka. Everyone will want to come and have a good time. Let's get started and do what we need to do. But let's get that back on the table and see about implementing a downtown Opa-locka. Thank you. I'm done.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Pruitt. Citizens Forum is still open.
I like the new podium. Audrey Dominguez, 1147 Jan Avenue. Good evening. First, I'd like to thank Commissioner Kelly for bringing the ordinance for the Civil Service Board. Our first meeting was March 2nd. It's been 4 months. The commission requested a workshop. It was done. We needed an HR director. We have an HR director. We can now say that this board has some teeth. Okay, I just want to remind the commission that this board is necessary to help the employees of Opa-locka. Some employees have been written up, demoted, and even terminated without having due process or someone to hear their cases. Now, I do understand that if FDLE or the district attorney's office has found enough evidence against an employee or an officer, the termination is with cause. I would like to encourage the residents of Opa-locka to apply for the Civil Service Board. We still have 2 openings available. On another note, and not to pick on Commissioner Kelly, but you have a resolution number 6, sponsored by Commissioner Kelly regarding directing the interim city manager to respond to Meet Me Monday citizens' inquiries and complaints within 10 days. On Meet Me Mondays, there is always one assistant city manager present to answer any questions. Why doesn't the interim city manager delegate one of these interim city managers to actually respond to the commissioner? So I'm not understanding, if we have 2 assistant city managers attend these meetings, why can't he get a response within the timely manner? So I like to ask the question, what will happen if he does not respond within the 10 days? Now with this resolution, will he be written up? I mean, you are his boss. So I just want to know the purpose, because if nothing's going to happen, to me, it defeats the purpose. But I can say that, Kelly, you must not be the flavor of the month.
Citizens Forum is still open.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners, and everybody in their respective places, good evening. Retired Chief Cheryl Cason of this great city of Opa-locka, and it's still great as far as I know and as far as I am concerned. Rome wasn't built in a day, we know that, and things are going to change and things are to come. I appreciate you all. I'm gonna keep it simple tonight, because it just needs to be. And I just want to come forward. I be watching on Zoom and stuff because I can't make it sometimes because I'm on grandma duties. I ain't no retirement confine me to grandma duties. I want to come back to work, I think. But anyway, anyway, we do have concerns and we're going to always have them. We do work diligently. I'm so proud of you all. I'm very, very proud of you all. And I want to say something to Mr. Williams publicly. We appreciate you, okay? Because when you're leading, if nobody's following, you're only taking a walk, okay? And there's the pendulum effect. We can't do everything in one night. no city was built in one day. So we're going to continue to strive. This train gonna keep on moving. It's gonna keep on going for each and every one. And guess what? Because the citizens do see to that. Okay, and I want to thank you, Mr. Darvin, for bringing, which was my friend. There's a lot of misconception that I'm just going to straighten this out right quick. One thing you said when you hired my friend, Chief Sheriff Scott Israel, you said something nobody else said. He came and said he needed 1 year to complete his FDLE. I knew him before he came here. And when you spoke on him and why you brought him, you said God put it in your heart. And I said to Scott, that's why you got the job, because God didn't put it in nobody else's heart. So we're going to accept God where he at, because he met you. And we're going to go with that. And that's why I explained to some people tonight, and I'm explaining almost every day. Sometimes we got to be careful what we ask God for, because he might just give it to you. And that's not meant negative. But I want you to know I'm proud of the city I was born in and raised in and reared my children. Commissioner Kelly, Vice Mayor, Mayor, Commissioner Bass, Joanna, each and every one, because we pretty much, well, I'm older than y'all, but y'all help me, and it still takes a village. We still raising our children together. I raised some of y'all. I ain't gonna tell y'all which ones, but anyway, this train gonna keep on moving positively, and anything I could do, anytime, Chief Otley, thank you. I'm gonna leave it right there for now, because what you're doing is awesome. And I'm just gonna leave that right there for right now. Okay? The police department, kudos, because that's my pet peeve. Okay? Citizens, we're in this city to win it. We ain't going nowhere. Thank y'all. And thanks for representing us. That's why we got you here. I love you.
Thank you,
God
Chief.
bless.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
All right, citizens forum is still open.
And move the mic a little bit. Hi, Sergio Bonilla, 6911 Southwest 158 Passage. I come here on behalf of Beacon College Prep, 2750 Northwest 135th Street, K through 8 off of 135th. I'm actually the new principal there. So I'm just here to just come to the first commission meeting. I'm the principal as of June 9th, essentially. And we're just in the process of not only being the only A in Opa-locka, but maintaining that. So I'm not here to really present anything other than just to introduce myself, say hello to you all, and just let you know that my vision, my goal is to make sure that that K through 8 is the K through 8 that everyone's talking about through not only academic rigor, safety, but a community where every single student is known by first name, last name. Every family has that connection with us, and our doors are always open. And me as a principal, to make sure that our kids are just ready for high school, and kind of want to see how we can maybe possibly get that in the future as well. A real true high school in Opa-locka, that it just services community, because one of the lifelines of this world is education. From my family who came here from a separate country in Nicaragua 30, actually almost 40 years ago, as I'm close to 40. That's how we've just always overcome things, and just so glad to be part of this community. And I hope to be joining you guys for more meetings, even though 12, 13-hour days are long, but it's awesome. We do it for the kids, and I'm just gonna be here listening, and maybe I'll introduce myself to you guys again. But my name is Mr. Bonilla, Bonilla, and that's Beacon College Prep. Thank you for having me today.
Thank you, Mr. Bonilla. Mr. Bonilla, see this young lady with a turquoise shirt? Can you give her your phone number for me, please? Thank you. Citizens Forum is still open. Citizens Forum is still open. Citizens.
Wait.
You still go? Oh, okay. Citizens Forum is open.
Good evening,
Good evening.
Bruce Baskin, 2070 York Street. I've been to this commission before to address a problem that has yet to be resolved. And I'm hoping that sooner than later that this issue can be resolved. My first thing is, I thank Commissioner Kelly because he's been listening to my concerns. He's addressed my concerns. And I appreciate that. This situation with the fences on York Street, the fences that was said that they were encroaching upon the easement, that situation has yet to be resolved. I have been told that the interim city manager was supposed to reach out to me, and different folks were supposed to reach out to me about this situation. Situation is yet to be resolved. Been dealing with this here now for a month and a half, going on 2 months. I think that's entirely too long. You know, as commissioners, as other representatives, you guys are accountable to the citizens of Opa-locka. So when we bring a concern, that concern needs to be addressed and at some point come to a resolution. It shouldn't be ongoing, you know, months, you know, at a time, because the situation doesn't appear to be that complex. And I've asked repeatedly through different forums, through emails, what's going to be the resolution for this problem that, again, I brought to the commission. I brought to the Meet Me Mondays with Commissioner Kelly. I've wrote emails. So I need to know what is going, and I'm not a person that, you know, oh, it'll resolve itself. I don't believe in that. I believe you have to take the action, because I don't want to forget about it. And then, you know, 2 months from now, 3 months from now, I'm getting some type of notice or some type of infraction on my property because I thought the situation was resolved. So I need the situation resolved one way or the other. So someone needs to meet with me, get back to me. And I've had meetings with city officials to tell me what is it and how can we resolve this issue about the privacy fence and the easement situation that is behind Ingram Park that I've said before, that's been in that same situation for over 50 years. So I need a resolution. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bruce. Citizens Forum is still open. Citizens Forum is closed.
Mr. Mayor,
Madam Clerk.
just for the record, first reading ordinance 16A1 is being deferred by the sponsor to the next regular commission meeting, July 26, 2023.
But we can read it into the record when it
Yeah,
comes
then
upon
we'll-
the agenda.
Okay. All right, thank you, Madam Clerk.
Mr. Mayor,
Commissioner Kelly.
I thank you. I've always said since I've been here, if a resident takes the time to come before us, the least we ought to do is acknowledge that they've been here. I want to acknowledge to all of the residents that spoke your concerns. We've heard them. I've heard them. Some of them I've already been addressing, have sent correspondence to the manager's office for a response or resolution regarding them. As some of you indicated, I've not gotten back total response or answer, just various degrees. So I'm glad you're still coming to keep the issues before this commission. I too love this city like everybody else, but everybody's accountable for the job that they do. And so when citizens come to bring issues forth, whether it's here or Meet Me Monday, I am going to follow through on them. And some of these issues are not new, whether they're business related or residential related, they're not new, they're not earth shattering, and they need to be addressed and not be put on the back burner. So I'm going to continue to raise it. I'll raise it later on under my report as well. But I want to acknowledge the fact that citizens come to meetings and that your voices are heard. And I do hear you, as my colleagues do, to follow up on your concerns. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
No problem, Commissioner Kelly. Anyone else? Okay. Madam Attorney, as we get ready to go into action items 12.1.
A resolution of the City Commission of the City of Opa-locka, Florida, directing the interim city manager to create a police sponsorship program within the police department, providing for incorporation of recitals, providing for an effective date. This is sponsored by Mayor Taylor.
All right, can I get a motion?
Move it.
Moved by Commissioner Bass,
Second.
second by Vice Mayor. And this is my item, so I present it. This item is pretty straightforward. What I wanted to do, because I know that we always had an issue with retaining our officers and actually recruiting officers. So I wanted to make sure that every year in our budget, that we budgeted for putting officers in the police academies, the police academy, the local police academy, and then putting them on a doing a contractual agreement with that officer that they stay with the city of Opa-locka for a minimum of 5 years. So that's why this resolution is here today. But I know it was pulled, so we're gonna open it for a discussion. I think Commissioner Bass pulled it. Oh, you pulled it.
Mr. Mayor.
Commissioner Kelly.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I appreciate the resolution. A couple of questions I have and really concerns. I am always challenged when we commit future dollars now for a budget that's coming up. So I'd like to get from the interim city manager to the budget department, is that a standard practice to allocate funding for the future? If we were in the budget process at this moment and allocated through that process, I wouldn't have a challenge. But it seems we do that quite often where we're wanting to allocate dollars now for a budget that's going to take place next year. I got the idea of the wanting to hire officers, put them through the academy. I have no problem with that, but I have a problem we commit the dollars here in July for the 2024 budget, as opposed to making it a part of that process when we're doing the budgeting at that moment and say to the manager and the budget folks, we want to incorporate it. The second thing is I noticed it's 5 years. I remember years ago, these type of programs used to be 3. So we would be obligating them to a 5-year service if they would consent or commit to it. My question is, what if they don't finish and or terminate? We spend a lot of money to put them through the academy and to do this. So what would be the other effect if for some reason they don't survive 2 years? Is there provision for them to pay us back the money we put in? That's a question I have, and also through the manager for budget person regarding committing future dollars in advance. Is that even good fiscal policy? I'd like to hear that response. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
No problem. Mr. Manager, you can handle the first question and I'll deal with the second one.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And to respond on, we have here our budget administrator, Mr. Robert Anathan, and I'll bring him to the podium to respond.
Good evening, Commissioner Bob Anathan, Budget Administrator. To Commissioner Kelly's point, it is now carved out as a point, as a item within the budget for that you will see in next couple of days at a workshop. At that time, you can vote it down if you see fit. At the moment, it's just a carve out in the FY24 budget.
It's, Mr. Mayor,
Commissioner Kelly.
you're saying it's a carve out? What do you mean?
It's specifically identified as an identified item within the budget.
Oh, so
Again,
you've
subject to.
already put it in the budget?
Yes, sir. We're working on the FY24 budget. Since this has come up, it's been discreetly identified as an item in the FY24 budget for your approval.
So it was already sitting there while we even doing this. You said it's already carved out, means you already put it in the budget prior to now?
No, sir. It was done in response to this agenda item.
So the item is put forward and you've already carved the money out and put it in a fiscal line item for 2024.
I accepted that as guidance to be included in the budget to be presented to you. Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Manager, Mr. Guidance, I don't know what did you mean by guidance. So you're telling me if I bring an item or bring a discussion that I want to propose future dollars for a line item, you're going to take that as guidance to go and put it in the budget prior to?
Subject to obviously subject to the commission approval.
But you've already put it in there.
I've identified as one item in a very large budget. Yes, sir.
And that's good. That's sound fiscal policy. Put something in advance before the commission actually passes it. Not in your draft of a workshop amendment or workshop document, but the actual draft of the budget, you put in already?
No, sir, it's in a budget that will be presented for your approval. The budget has not been approved. We'll do a workshop. We'll do two workshops in the next 2 weeks. And then you'll formally adopt the budget in September. At this point, it is identified as a source of funding for this particular program.
So being the budget director and your years of experience, regardless of who up here would bring forth an item, now for the future, you're saying that that kind of policy is okay because that's guidance for you to go ahead and insert it. So when it comes up in the budget process, it's already there.
It's there for your approval. Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, for that response.
Okay, and to the second item, that was one of the things that I raised, so that would be addressed in the contract. And once the contract is written, Commissioner Kelly, if this so to pass tonight, then it will come before the commission. Does that answer your second question?
I appreciate the response, Mr. Mayor, but it doesn't say that that's going to come back to us for any kind of approval. Unless I missed it somewhere in the document.
We can add the language.
Pardon me?
We can add the language.
Okay, well, I would feel more comfortable adding that language because
Okay.
we're talking about potentially $123,000. I don't want to commit, putting somebody through whatever the time frame and then they leap out and don't fulfill it. We on the hook for
Yes, sir.
them to do it. So I'd like to see some kind of language that would address that.
Okay, so Madam Attorney, I'd do an amendment to my item, well, to this item, to add that that the manager would develop that contract and then present it back to the commission for final approval.
Okay, we can add that if it's voted in.
Okay. All right. Any other discussion on this item? All right, so can we vote on the amendment to the item? Can I get a motion?
Move it.
Moved by Commissioner Bass. Second by Vice Mayor. This is to vote on the amendment to add the language. That once the contract, that the manager will develop the contract and present it to the commission for final approval. Madam Clerk?
Vice Mayor Irvin,
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly,
Yes.
Commissioner Bass.
Yes.
Mayor Taylor.
Yes,
Motion on the amendment passes 4-0.
thank you. And then this is to vote on the actual item itself. Call the question, Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Bass,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Irvin,
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly,
Yes.
Mayor Taylor.
Yes,
Motion passes 4-0.
thank you. Next item, 12-2.
A resolution of the City Commission of the City of Opa-locka, Florida, directing the interim city manager to budget $25,000 in the proposed fiscal year 2024 annual budget for the city's third annual Opa-locka Latin Music Festival, providing for incorporation of recitals, providing for an effective date. This is sponsored by Mayor Taylor.
Can I get a motion?
Move it.
Moved by Vice Mayor,
Second.
second by Commissioner Bass. This is another one of my items. Every year we have been doing a Hispanic Heritage Festival here in the city of Opa-locka. This is the third year. It's been great so far, but what we struggle with is advertisement and actually getting the word out. So last year, I think we allocated, if I'm not mistaken, 15,000. So I'm asking to allocate an additional 10,000, additional 10,000 for the purpose of advertisement and for us to get the word out a little bit more so that we can get a better participation for the festival. Any question? Well, you pulled it. Any questions?
She pulled it. I wanted to pull it, but I'll go after.
Go ahead, Commissioner
Bass.
Bass.
Okay, thank you so much for bringing this item, but I do have not so much of concern, but in a way concerns. This is our Latin community that we celebrate. We have other nationalities, we have other, groups that are not being celebrated in our city. So we're gonna have to look to find a way to make sure that everyone is included. And with that being said, I would like to see for you to make a friendly amendment, make a friendly amendment to your item to add mayor and commission, since this is a event that will be sponsored by the city's budget and not our individual budgets.
Well, I don't mind. That's what we did last year. It said mayor and commission on it. Cause that concern was brought up last year. I don't mind. And Vice Mayor?
Yes, I attended the festival and it was very nice. However, if we're gonna do this for Conga-Loka, then we need to do this also for Juneteenth and some other events because we can't single out, we did nothing for Juneteenth. And I had an issue with that. And now we're gonna do this with a budget that's not gonna come out of our event money. So we need to also find dollars for Juneteenth in our 2024 budget. And like Commissioner Bass said, really not just Juneteenth, but we also have some other nationalities that maybe we have to come up with our own holiday that includes everybody. I don't know, but we can't just continue to single out one specific nationality.
Got it. So I'll say this, I don't mind, Vice Mayor, and if that's something that you want to sponsor to allocate funding for Juneteenth and any other, and like she said, any other festival or event, then I will support it wholeheartedly.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem. All right,
Mr. Mayor,
Commissioner Kelly?
thank you. I agree with all of what has been said. You indicated that the reason you went from 10 to 25 was because of advertisement, getting the word out, and our community, I guess, knowing what is going on. And you feel that 25,000 will do that. I'm trying to figure out, why do we need 25,000 when we have a PR firm already sitting that we're paying, that's supposed to get the word out and market and all those good things for whatever we're doing in the city. And I like the idea, I was doing Hispanic heritage with bingo and, all that before we even had money. So I appreciate the recognition. I agree we need to do something for all of our various communities, Haitian community as well. So I will wait to see how that unfolds, but I'm supportive of that. But I think 25,000, given that we already have a lot of, we already have a PR firm that's supposed to help get the word out. And that's the reason why you're upping the amount. To me, it shouldn't have to go that high. But I guess someone has done some due diligence and figured it needs to go that high. I will support it based on that fact, but I think it should be lower than 25. I think it ought to be like maybe 15 and make our PR firm do more. That's just my thought process. I want to say this really to the commission, more so to management. And one of the things that I do value is bringing my experience and how I believe we ought to be very careful when we start doing things. I've seen this now and several times, and it's the second resolution where we're committing future dollars of a budget in current days and current time. I think that is something we ought not get in the habit of doing. It's not the idea of what we're trying to accomplish may not be good, but when you're committing, future dollars in a right now setting, I think that's very challenging. And I appreciate the answer by the budget director, but I've been around and I think, because that means all of us up here can start bringing items today for next January at a budget of 2024, 25, where we'll have the dollars committed to things before we even get to that budget. I mean, if we're going to be committing dollars for the future, especially when you start talking about some things we're doing, I think we need to be very careful with that. I guarantee there's some folks who have challenges on their streets with flooding would say we ought to commit some future dollars for drainage and beautification and some of those other things if we're going to commit future dollars. So I want to just caution my colleagues as we're going down this road, be very careful in the futures, we're committing future dollars in a right now setting. They're good ideas, they're good concepts, but I think we ought to do them in real time and not commit future dollars that we haven't even got yet. They're coming, but they're not there yet. They're proposed. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Yes, sir. All right, two things that you brought up. So last year we allocated a certain amount, but even though we have a PR firm, radio advertisement, newspaper, stuff like that, to try to get the word out is not covered under the PR firm's monthly retainer. So that stuff will have to come from the city's budget. And as far as the reason why I brought it now is because we are in the budget season. So this is an opportunity to tell the manager and put it out in the opening, the will of the commission, and for them to do what they got to do. So it's there once we get to the budget season. But I hear you loud and clear. And also, per what we were told from the state, all events must be approved by the commission. So that's another reason why you also see this item before you today. So I just wanted to make sure that we were all on the same page and you knew what we were doing in advance before it got done.
Mr. Mayor.
Commissioner Kelly.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And I like when we throw the state in there. That's always give us some confirmation. I know what the state said, and I have no problem with the event. I just think going forward, we're doing committing dollars for the future. And since the PR firm's retainer does not cover this item, so that's why you upped it from, you said it was 10 last year to 25. Right? You said it was 10 last year?
15 last year.
It was 15?
15 last year.
So we upped to 10 more to be able to reach because of the advertisement.
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. If there is nothing else, Madam Clerk, we can call the roll.
Commissioner.
Sorry.
Oh,
Go ahead.
Commissioner Kelly,
Yes.
Commissioner Bass,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Irvin.
Yes.
Mayor Taylor.
Yes.
Motion passes 4-0.
All righty, we're getting ready to go into our ordinance 16A1.
An ordinance of the City Commission of the City of Opa-locka, Florida, amending Article 11, Division 5, entitled Civil Service Board, specifically Section 2-526, to specify that the Civil Service Board shall have the power to advise on matters through hearing from city employees at a properly noticed meeting, amending Section 2-530 to amend the role of the Human Resources Director, amending Section 2-535 to delete certain inapplicable responsibilities, amending Section 2-537 to delete certain inapplicable timelines, amending Section 2-539 to remove penalties, amending Section 2-541 to specify persons exempt from tests, adding Section 2-542 to specify that in the case of conflict, collective bargaining agreements shall apply, providing for repeal of all prior ordinances in conflict, providing for severability, providing for an effective date. This is sponsored by Commissioner Kelly.
All right,
Mr. Mayor.
Commissioner Kelly.
Thank you. Just for the record, I want to defer this item until the next regular commission meeting to allow HR and the manager's office to weigh in with anything they want to weigh in with the attorney and myself. That's the only reason I'm deferring it for one meeting. So it'll be back on the next meeting, so I'm deferring it for tonight. Thank you.
Okay. All right, Madam Attorney, 16B1.
An ordinance of the City Commission of the City of Opa-locka, Florida, authorizing the interim city manager to execute a community space lease agreement with P-Swap Mentoring and Swim Organization, Inc., or P-Swap, to provide swimming services, providing for adoption of representations, providing for conflict and repealer, providing for severability, providing for scrivener's or errors, conflict, and providing for an effective date. First reading and public hearing was held on June 14th, 2023. This is sponsored by the interim city manager.
All right, can I get a motion?
Move it. Second.
Moved by Vice Mayor, second by Commissioner Bass. Mr. Manager, can you introduce and then we'll open up?
Absolutely. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So very excited to bring this ordinance forward. P-SWAP has been supportive of the city of Opa-locka for many years in helping our residents and our kids on our parks with swimming lessons and different items. They've always been there for them on our call. So we're really excited to bring this item forward to continue to provide these services in coordination with P-SWAP to our residents. And we have the parks directors here if you have any additional questions.
Okay, this is a public hearing item. Public hearing is open. Hearing none, seeing none, public hearing is closed. All right, do we have any questions for our, you're yielding to the Parks Director, for our Parks Director?
Mr. Mayor.
Commissioner Kelly?
Yes, I don't have a question ready for the park director. I had asked in my briefing if it was possible through the manager's office and the attorney's office that it could be a renewable option. So we don't have to come back every year. P-SWAP has done a great job and they're offering up lessons for all of our residents, not just those in the camps. So I'd asked if that was possible and I was supposed to get a response. So I don't know if we're able to confirm that or not. Like I said, I was gonna bring it up. So we don't have to come back next year. If it's not ready, then that's fine, but I wanted to know, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
As far as adding it to the contract, it's still, you're able to add that.
Okay.
And can put some language in there for you for that.
Does that require, Madam, Mr. Mayor?
I was gonna have to,
Attorney, does that require an amendment or
Yes.
Okay,
And then
Mr.
you
Chair, I'd
vote
like
on
to
that
move that
amendment and then the.
as an amendment for a renewable year's option to the agreement?
okay, so it was so moved by Commissioner Kelly. Can I get a second?
Second.
By Vice Mayor.
Mr. Mayor, I'm
oh.
sorry, before you do that, I need to get a little clarification. So did you want it to come through the city manager's office for the renewal?
Yes, it'll come through the same
Okay,
process, will have to be approved through the manager's office, which would obviously let the commission know. But it would have to come back for a vote because, you know, it's would be renewable based on what's in the agreement.
okay.
Okay. It was so moved by Commissioner Kelly and second by Vice Mayor. Madam Clerk, this on the amendment.
Vice Mayor Irvin,
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly,
Yes.
Commissioner Bass.
Yes.
Mayor Taylor.
Yes,
Motion passes on the amendment.
alrighty, and if we have no questions for the Parks Direct,
Just a comments, that's it.
Commissioner Bass?
Thank you. I just wanted to say, I visit the park actually every day during the summer because my grandson is in the park at Shabundi. And I see the parents out there in the pool with the babies. It is a beautiful sight to see people of color in the pool learning how to swim with their children. Not just the children in the pool, but the adults are also in the pool. It is just beautiful. I applaud P-SWAP for coming into our city, and I'm looking forward to a long-lasting relationship between the city and P-SWAP.
What she said. But I do have one question, Mr. Manager, and this was brought up by a lot of residents over the summer, that we're charging for the pool. It says 2 hours per day for them to utilize the pool.
To the podium.
There's no fees being charged at all.
So it's free to all residents and.
Yes.
All right, and the hours of operation is, that was another thing that was brought up, that they can't use it at certain times because of the children being on site.
No, they actually have swimming lessons from 9 in the morning to 12. And then they have the community that comes out and swim from that time until 5 o'clock.
12 to close, all right.
And then they go back into the second half of the swimming lessons. And any residents that's registered for swimming lessons, they call me out for the approval to make sure they're city residents. They're not just going by what they put on the application, because you know that
Miami Gardens have certain areas that still say Opa-locka.
Okay,
So I verify the addresses.
all right, I'll let the family know. All right, thank you. Thank you. All right, so we can call the question.
Commissioner Bass,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Irvin,
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly,
Yes.
Mayor Taylor.
Yes,
Motion passes 4-0.
all righty, and we're getting ready to go into our city manager's report. Mr. Manager, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. What's most pertinent to the administration at this time is that we have a number of workshops that we need to coordinate with the commission. First is the budget workshop that we actually need to get scheduled as.
Mr. Manager, 1 second. We can't hear you down here.
Let me speak into the mic. Can you hear me now?
Okay, that's better.
All right, good. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So the most pertinent issue for the administration right now is that we need to, we know how you love doing workshops. We have a number of workshops that we must get on your calendar. Some of them are required by the charter, or a couple of them are required by the charter. I believe it could be that we would like to get the will of the commission. We have sent you the first half of the SOPs. If it's the will of the commission, we can meet with you individually to answer any questions you have regarding the SOPs, or or we can also have a workshop on the SOPs. So will look for the will of the commission on that item. The other items we must have workshops on, the finance workshop. We must have a workshop on those items, specifically with the updates pending. We're required to do a budget workshop. So we're budget season. We must do a budget workshop with you. We also need to we have legislation that's passed and legislation that's pending regarding affordable housing and the city's response to that. So we absolutely must do a workshop on that as well. So I just want to put that out there so that you don't get too upset with me when we start making the request for some of your time.
And you're not asking for a poll tonight. You're gonna reach out to us individual?
I would like a poll on whether or not you want to do a workshop on the SOPs. Because that one's is not required.
Well, me personally, I can't speak for everybody, but I wouldn't mind meeting with you individually. That way we can actually go through it in detail.
Yes.
You can't really do that sitting up here, but I don't know what's the will of the board, but I'm flexible either way. So as far as the standard operating procedures, he wants to know, do we want to do a workshop, or he wants to meet with each one of us individually?
We can't ask questions if it's a workshop. I mean,
Yeah, we
I
can.
prefer workshop.
Prefer
a workshop.
I'm flexible, but that's what I said.
Okay.
Commissioner Kelly? I'm flexible.
Okay.
So it's, okay, and this, whatever, yeah.
Okay, all right, thank you. We'll do a workshop.
That was my point. That's gonna be a long workshop.
And to that point, Mr. Mayor, while we're on this issue, because we're doing, if I understand the manager correctly, we're doing the ones that are listed in the book, because in my briefing, I also asked about the ones that are not listed. So the ones that you're requesting a workshop are the ones that's in the book only.
Yes, that's correct.
And I understand finance, I think, only has a portion they're still working on. So we're just dealing with the ones in the book. And I will just say, since it's in this frame, that we have that workshop. Oh, never mind, let me leave that alone. I'm flexible for the workshop, Mr.
Okay, I'm flexible for the workshop, but if Commissioner Bass and Vice Mayor Irvin decide to change their mind, I wouldn't mind doing it, because that would be a long workshop. But
It's only as long as you all want it to be.
the next one is, so I know budget we have to do before the end of this month. So can we pull out our calendars and give them a date that we're available now, or do y'all want to send them in an email or to get with the clerk?
Hold us.
Okay, so, all right, so Madam Clerk, can you poll the commission on, well, the 4 workshops? The financial workshop, Mr. Manager?
It has to actually be 2 workshops
What do you
for the
mean?
budget.
Yeah, we
Yes.
understand. Okay,
Okay.
so the financial workshop, the budget workshop, the affordable housing workshop, as well as the
SOPs.
SOP workshop.
Mr. Mayor,
Mhm.
so just so that you keep this in mind when you're looking at your calendar. We did receive a request for 2 budget workshops. One the week of July 17th, and then also for the second budget workshop, Monday, July 24th at 6 p.m. So if you can, I'll follow up with the email in
Oh,
the
you already pulled,
morning,
okay,
and
alright.
I'll poll the commission, but just so that you keep, those dates in mind
okay,
for the budget workshops.
for the budget. All right. Okay, Mr. Manager, is that you're done with your report? All right, do we have any questions for the manager?
Oh, I'd like to add one more thing, Mr. Mayor. As you all know, we've had, historically, we've had challenges with recruitment, with many prospective employees that may have come citing our compensation structure and some and some other, unsavory things. And that's something that I know the commission has been working to change, being out in the community, and also the administration and our media and PR firm. So we've actually been saving ourselves budget-wise, utilizing money from vacant positions. If you look at past fiscal years, you'll see that holes were covered utilizing money from vacant positions, but we need those positions filled to be able to be timely response to the demands of the residents and the demands of the commission. So we've aggressively been working to fulfill those positions. And we had a very successful career fair on Saturday. We slotted for 125 residents and community members to come and interview for positions. And we had over 200 people come that are interested in working for the city of Opa-locka. So I wanted to share that your efforts in representing the city is working.
Thank you, Mr. Manager, for that update on the job fair. Do we have any questions for the manager on his report?
Mr. Mayor.
Commissioner Kelly?
Yes, I know, I had mentioned before, but I want to make sure, and I have staff follow up on the date in terms of a meeting for the reopening of Ingram Park to meet with the appropriate staff so you can prepare for that, which is going to happen at the end of this month. And also, I did just receive in my phone as I was coming in information on beautification. I didn't get a chance to read it that I requested. I'd also like to get an update on Carroll Lane, where we are on Carroll Lane and getting completed, and also the flooding challenges on 147th and that whole area. I know it mentioned that we had drains put in or what have you. The water still seems to flood even though we've been dry for a few days, which is good. So I'd like an update on that. And also, I'd like to make sure as we're going forward that we get those updates on those items. I'll be submitting the meeting Monday information later. But that's what I have for the manager. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. Anyone else for the manager? All righty, as we get ready to go into official board reports, Madam Clerk, do we have any board reports?
Not at this time, Mr. Mayor.
All righty, and we're going into our mayor and commission reports. Well, I'll start, because I want to make sure that we do this. Mr. Manager, we need an update on the financial oversight.
Absolutely. So we had given a deadline to the state for the 2021 fiscal year comprehensive annual financial reports for the city of Opa-locka of June 30th. And our internal vendor, the Brunson team, were unable to complete what is called a GASB 34 conversion. It's not a conversion that is a skill set that many people have. And no one on the team were able to complete that to the satisfaction of myself, the finance department, or the Markham team. So we reached out to our vendor Markham to see when we could get someone, or if we could get someone to complete the GASB 34 conversion. They have a team that was actually dedicated to Gatsby 34 conversions, but they will not be available until July 17th. So on July 17th, they're going to start tackling the Gatsby 34 conversion for the city of Opa-locka. That conversion takes 3 to 4 days. And at that time, we will turn their files back over to Markham to complete, which will take probably another 3 to 4 days. So we anticipate submitting the fiscal year 2021 annual financial report to the state the last week in July, no later than the 31st.
Okay. So you said no later than the 31st of July that our report will be.
Yes, for the fiscal 2021, and we're still shooting to make a deadline of December 31st for the 2022, which will have the city of Opa, after not submitting annual financial reports for a decade, will have the city of Opa-locka current for the first time. And that will have this team having completed 3 annual financial reports in less than 18 months.
Yeah,
Commissioner Kelly?
thank you. Mr. Manager, you said it was Brunson team could not do the Gatsby 34.
That's correct.
Was that part of their scope of service?
Yes,
So are we recouping some money back from them because they couldn't do it?
we are having that discussion as we speak, sir.
Okay, Madam Attorney, make sure you get in that discussion. They could do the job and got us behind. Why you smiling, Mr. Mayor?
Yes, sir.
I'm with
keep it the way
you.
it is. I mean, they got us behind. It's not us, it's them. They said they could do it. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
All righty.
Mr. Mayor,
Commissioner Bass?
thank you. I just wanted to say to everyone, including our manager, I want to say it publicly, thank you for the work that you're putting into the city of Opa-locka. We have a long ways to go. We're not perfect, but we're moving forward. We have bumps in the road, but we tie our bootstraps and we keep trotting towards our goals. As it relates to our audits, yes, we are behind, but we're so much closer to the end that we have been in a decade, and that sounds good to me. Continue to do what you're doing, and we're going to continue praying for our city as we continue to move forward. Thank you.
Okay. Anything else on the financial oversight of the city? Okay, next on my report, we need to. Okay, I'll do this one. So you all know the conditions of the Glorietta Gardens. Myself, I know Vice Mayor has toured it on several occasions. I know Commissioner, most of us have toured it on several occasions. And the city has deployed a housing task force to go door to door to ensure and make sure that our citizens are living in a living condition. And I say it that way. So I want to shout out Ms. Wilcox and the Chief of Police and our manager for leading that task force. So thank you for that. The residents they see a light at the end of the tunnel. And today we were also out there again. We met with the manager. We also met with the owner of the building, and we're moving. So tomorrow I want to also invite my colleagues out there. We're doing a town hall meeting tomorrow at 6 p.m. for them to formally discuss what were the findings, what's the plan from the management office, and how long, and so the residents can ask questions. So that's tomorrow at 6 p.m. at Glorietta Gardens in the Blues. So if you're not busy, please come out and join us for that conversation. Next, Mr. Manager, we passed a couple of meetings ago, which is the hurricane preparedness plan for the city of Opa-locka. We are now in July. So can we get that out to the commission as soon as possible?
Absolutely.
All right. And the last thing is the manager search. We started that process. We know Mr. Williams is our interim city manager, so we need to move forward in hiring a permanent manager. I believe our goal was set for next week, if I'm not mistaken, Madam Clerk, to call a special meeting in order for us to narrow our search down. We've received over 18 applicants for the position. So as a commission, we need to know your availability for next week so that we can call that special meeting in order to narrow this process down and move forward. So is that something we can discuss now, or do you all need time? And we also need to discuss next steps on the manager search. Okay, Commissioner Bass says she's ready to poll now. And
Say it again.
you want to do it later. So can you reach out to everybody tomorrow? So and we also need to discuss what the process will look like at the meeting. So I know Commissioner Kelly discussed that we all would bring up to 3 candidates. And then at that meeting, we'll narrow it down to a 3 that we agree upon. Are we still okay with that?
Yes.
We're still okay with that. And we just want to make sure that everybody has had an opportunity to review the resumes. And I know you sent it out because I got it as well. So thank you for that, Madam Clerk. So just poll us tomorrow and we'll go from there. And last but not least, on my report is.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
sorry, you don't want to go ahead and,
She said tomorrow.
oh, she's not ready right now?
We
Yeah, I
can do
think
it
it's
now.
better to do it now. I know there are several other things, the week of the 17th that's already on the calendar. There is a workshop scheduled for July 19th, which is a Wednesday. And then Commissioner Kelly and Commissioner Williams, they have the beautification event on the 20th. at
What's the
6
workshop,
p.m.
July 19th?
The workshop for the 19th is signage and color chart workshop, and it's planning and community development.
We can move that workshop. Mr. Mayor.
That's the will of the commission. Are you okay with postponing that workshop and replacing it with the manager search?
Who's responsible? Somebody sponsoring those workshops? Who's sponsoring?
Community development.
And also, Commissioner Williams is not available on the 19th at all.
She's not available. So what day is she available?
She is available. She's not available on the 19th at all. And Monday, the 17th, she's not available in the morning. Tuesday, the 18th, she's not available in the morning, but she can do afternoon or evening.
Okay.
Thursday, she has the beautification event at 6, so she's amenable to doing it in the morning, if that's the will of the commission, and she's available all day Friday.
Okay, so Tuesday.
Yes.
I wouldn't want to do it in the morning because it's our city manager section. We want to give our residents an opportunity to speak their mind. So is 6 o'clock good for everybody on Tuesday? Or would you like to do it the 18th? That would be next week, Tuesday.
Kelly has.
Oh, I forget about it.
Sure, Mr. Mayor.
I keep forgetting about
Tuesday at 6 is wonderful.
I forget about that.
Tuesday at 6 is fine.
You sure?
That's fine.
Okay. All right, Tuesday, what about 5:30?
That'd be even better.
Okay, 5:30? Okay, so Tuesday at 5:30.
Okay. Put it.
There is a planning and zoning meeting on Tuesday, I'm being told, at 7 p.m. unless the manager is willing to move that meeting.
Oh, we'll be finished by 7. That gives us, that now, we know we have a hard stop. And we have a hard stop at 6:59.
Okay,
On-
so
okay.
Tuesday at 6,
Tuesday at 5:30.
5:30.
Or what about 5? Is that too early for everyone? 5 is fine. 5 is fine. Tuesday at 5, that gives us a good 2
Okay,
hours.
got it. Thank you.
All right, and so that's that. So again, we ask that everybody bring their selections, their day, which is up to 3. And then we'll go from there. And the last one is, we have bingo on this Friday at 6 p.m. So we're inviting the community out. So join us for our night of bingo. And that concludes my report. Commissioner Bass. You good? No report from Commissioner, okay,
Yes. I do have a report. I can't speak for my colleagues, but as for me, my experience right now with the PR firm, I feel like they are not meeting the needs, the terms of their contract or the needs of the city. We had and I'm gonna bounce away for a second. We had an extremely nice 4th of July.
event. However, no one from the PR firm was there. We didn't have any coverage for the event. They only posted it on our website once, which was June 29th. I don't know if our alignments are off. I'm not sure, but that was a really big event for the city because we have not done a 4th of July event in the city with fireworks attached in a long time. And we had no representation from them. That bothered me. Also, as I said before, the 4th of July was an amazing event. It was definitely a multicultural event of all ages. For the employees that thought it not robbery to bring their families out to enjoy with us, we do appreciate it. Also, I would like to thank, hopefully I'm not missing, Mr. Junior in procurement, because he proved me so wrong, honey. He had them fireworks and those fireworks were on point. Thank you. The beautification division, I'm going to quick thank you. Parks and Recreation, the manager's office, the clerk office, the residents, everyone who made the police department, everyone who made this event memorable. I thank you. I thank you. Everybody. The next day we actually got kudos on Facebook from people saying, y'all better stop sleeping on Opa-locka. Yes, stop sleeping on Opa-locka because we are here and we're here with a bang. We proved that on the 4th of July. And that was, can't forget this. Code enforcement, chief, the police department, the manager's office. Thank you all so very much for allowing me the opportunity to take that tour with you guys at the Glorietta Apartments. It was heartwarming.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we have a few more that we need to also look at apartment complexes because I don't want our city to be a city of slumlords. We're not having it. No way, no how. And I look to see our residents at bingo on Friday. That's it.
We got bingo.
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly.
It's luau, by the way. It's luau. Dress appropriate.
Explain that.
She gonna be in a hula skirt with all.
Your grass skirts are welcome.
I'm not wearing a grass skirt. I want to, although I could not stay, I had to go out of town. I did enjoy the 4th of July activities. And like the Vice Mayor, commend everyone who had a part in making it a success. I did catch someone on Facebook and I share the same concerns that our PR firm is not where they should be. And so I'm gonna work with the attorney and maybe look at that agreement because I don't believe in just paying folks and they're not doing what we need them to do. There were a few bumps in the road, but it turned out well. And as Vice Mayor said, a lot of folks took a lot of positive energy out of it. So thanks to everyone that was involved. I want to thank Public Works, of course, as always, the police, our volunteers, and my colleagues, Vice Mayor Irvin and Commissioner Bass, while I was out of town, who stepped in for Farm Share last week. Thank you so much for filling in during that time. Of course, our Feeding South Florida distribution will take place next Friday at Siegel Park from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. So please pass the word. We had our monthly Meet Me Monday this past Monday. As always, residents come out and share their concerns, and I will continue to forward those and get answers. Some of them I am very concerned about, and I will forward those from this month to the manager's office by tomorrow morning. I'm thankful to my colleagues for passing the legislation. I want to thank the police department and the
interim chief always having someone there to talk about the issues and things they're doing in the police department. And as I've said from the beginning, when I came back, something I've been doing over 20 years, I welcome the manager's office in any department they want to send to come and represent or be a part of Meet Me Monday. So much has been said about beautification over the last few years and going forward. And I want to, like all of us, change that. And so as has been stated earlier, I, along with Commissioner Williams and the support of the entire commission, are going to host what we're calling a community conversation on beautification next Thursday, July 20th, at 6 p.m. At Coachman Gardens, right across the street from Nathan B. Young Elementary School. Everyone is invited. We've already got inquiries from other parts of the community about beautification as we began to, as the words of I've seen, brighten our future. And so we're going to start there, and hopefully everyone will come out. And it's going to be past the conversation, but it's going to be some action as we move our city forward. As I told residents on Monday, and I make no apologies about it, if City Hall with the mulch and beautification can look pretty, and the rest of the city and mediums can look the same way. And we're going to work to make sure that that occurs. Finally, I want to invite everyone to the official reopening of Ingram Park on July 29th from 1 to 4 p.m. As I've stated before, it's the reopening, the beginning, not the ending of bringing back the park back to its stature in the Opa-locka community. I want the residents to know I continue to work and will continue to work on the concerns. Sometimes they're not popular, but I'm not here for popularity. I'm here to make sure that I represent the residents and let their voice be heard. And I'm going to continue to do that as we move our city forward. Let me just say for the record, Mr. Mayor, because I know you just announced it, and I'm glad to hear about the progress and potential for Gloria Apartments. And as Vice Mayor mentioned, there's some others that we need to address as well. I'll be with you there in spirit. I won't be there tomorrow with you at 6 p.m. because my wife celebrates her birthday tomorrow, and I will be a good husband and be with her. So I will not be there at 6 p.m. So please give my regards, Vice Mayor, Mayor, Commissioner, if you're there. If someone asks Commissioner Kelly, let him know he want to stay married, so he is with his wife.
Happy wife,
For her, for her birthday, but we look forward to the progress that's being made in that endeavor. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. That concludes my report.
Commissioner Kelly, can you restate the date and time of the reopening? Because we missed it down here.
The reopening of Ingram Park is Saturday, July 29th from 1 to 4 p.m.
Okay, 1 to 4 p.m. All right, thank you, Commissioner Kelly. All right, we're going into our official board appointments. Do we have any appointments for our official board appointments? No. I do have one appointment for the Financial Oversight Board. I want to appoint Nikisha Williams to the Financial Oversight Board so that we can establish a quorum and get that up and running. And that's at large appointment, so we wouldn't need to vote on it. Yeah. So for that board.
I'll second if you're making an appointment.
Yes, sir.
It's at large, so.
It's at large. We have to vote on it. Yes, sir. So I made the motion. Commissioner Kelly seconded. Madam Clerk, roll call.
Yes.
Commissioner Bass.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Irvin.
Yes.
Mayor Taylor.
Yes.
Motion passes 4-0.
All righty. If there is nothing else, we also ask, as we do every meeting, to please keep Mayor Riley in your prayers. So keep him in your prayers. And this meeting is adjourned.
Move it. Second.
Can we get a move by Commissioner Kelly? Can I get a second by I did adjourn it before we moved. We ready to go. It's 8:30. This meeting is adjourned. Vice Mayor.